friends, it's Gabriel with the Last Huntsman channel here. It's been a while since I've done like a knife or axe modification video. Those are always kind of popular, and I got a couple new blades here to test out and one to modify here. The one I'm going to be messing with now is the cold steel Viking hand axe. Now, I know you guys who's followed the channel for a long time know that I almost got my channel started by just modding out cold steel tomahawks. I've done a couple CRKT tomahawks too. I may have to show you guys some of the artwork I've done on these. They've gotten considerably better. But I've seen this one, wanted to start trying to mod it out. I think I'm going to leave the handle length. I know on some of my tomahawk videos I've cut the handle down, but with this bigger axe head, I almost want it like more of a two-hander, I think. And I'm kind of almost leaning towards like a possible like medieval battle axe slash kind of one-handed work axe and possibly a woods blade. So I'm going to just see how it works out. I'll walk you guys step by step, but first of all, show you everything you're going to need. First of all, you're going to need some Q-tips with super glue. This is just KC Birchwood hood. You're going to need some Allen wrenches. I'll show you that and why you need that in just a second. Some gloves because you're going to be working with some chemicals and stuff. Premium stripper, boiled linseed oil. I don't have my stain out here yet. I'm going to have to buy some more, but I'll show you the stain that I use. And of course some sandpaper because you're going to be sanding this bad boy down because right now it looks like hammered shit. So let's get started on this. Okay, so the very first step I'm going to be doing with this Viking hand axe is cold steel is notorious for putting these stupid little set screws in there. These things will just totally F up your axe, so I would suggest to use Allen tool, and for whatever reason getting these things out sometimes could be a bitch, but this thing will split your wood. It's bad news, so you know what the best thing to do with it? Throw that son of a bitch away. Alright. We got that done. We're going to take the axe head off because we're going to strip it so we can glue it, and we're going to strip this handle after I shave this down a little bit. I got my axe head here in this just thin little cheap lasagna pan you can buy at Walmart. You can buy them in like a 3-pack for like $1. And I got my clean strip premium stripper. This usually does the trick. I just will spray this down, soak it down, and it has this like thick like wax coating on it or some kind of shit. I don't know, but when you got nasty shit on your axe head, sometimes you gotta use nasty shit to get it off. So while that axe head is soaking, I'm going to start preparing this handle here. There is one major little issue with this handle when you get these out of the box. As you can see, they just slam that damn thing on there, and it's kind of hard to properly seat the axe head onto the handle with that thick ridge on there. So what I do, you can just sand it down with sandpaper, but that'll take a while, so I use a handy dandy knife, this Spyderco Endura 4, one of my personal favorites, and I'll just set the handle like this. Of course, you gotta try to brace the handle a little bit, make sure it's not gonna move, and I just kind of whittle this thick edge off first of all, and just kind of make it a little smoother transition for when you start to sand it, it'll smooth out a lot easier. Alright, so the next step I'm going to do here, I'm going to put on my other glove here, just make sure I don't get the shit on my hand. But I'm going to use more of the clean strip. I'm going to clean strip this thing off. I'm just going to hit this whole axe handle because they put like some kind of clear coat on it. I'm not even sure what the hell it is. It's kind of a real... I've let this axe sit for well over a day now. This waxy shit should be cleared off. I'm going to just use this putty knife here. I'm just going to scrape this stuff off. I already started a little bit. So now I got my axe head fully stripped off. I'm going to aim to these edges on the inside of the eye of the axe head here are pretty sharp. So I'm going to take me a round file. I'm going to just round them out a little bit so it seeps onto the axe handle a little better. So I got my axe stripped off. It's ready to be blued, and now I'm just using the I got the axe handle here. I'm going to use some 150 grit sandpaper here and start sanding on this. And I'm debating if I want to go any higher up than 150. Like, I got 220 as well, but 150 actually is pretty good. So I may just leave it at 150 because I kind of almost like the texture a little bit more. So the next step I'm going to be doing with this cold steel Viking hand axe is I'm going to blue the blade here. That's going to make it, one, look a lot cooler, but two, it's going to actually help prevent rusting, which I'm actually getting a little bit already on the edge. But I got some Casey Birchwood super blue. I shook it up already, made sure that's all good. I just use Q-tips here, and then you just kind of go over the axe head, and as you can see, it'll turn it almost black. I'm going to try to stay away from the edge here. I want to keep that just. So the next part I'm working on this Viking axe build is I'm actually drawing the artwork. And everywhere you guys see that I got pencil is what I'm going to actually be burning into this. And right now I'm actually writing some Viking writing on here. I'm not going to tell you guys what it says. Not yet anyways, I may later. But I'll start working on this here. I'm just using just a cheap wood burner you can buy at Wally World. I'm doing these lines here because they're going to give you a good grip, and the thing that's nice about doing a lot of artwork, other than the fact that it looks cool, is all this stuff that's burned in is actually going to be textured, so it will increase your grip on this. Right, I'm going to be using my little small brush for these. I think these little sponge brushes do the trick just fine. They're just cheap. You can buy them for less than $1 at Walmart. I think you get a 3-pack of them for a couple dollars, like I did here. I've been sharpening on this cold steel axe, and things being kind of a little tedious because it was actually quite a bit sharper on this part than it was down here on the beard, so I'm having to work on this beard quite a bit more here, so I'll just keep working on it. Probably should have put it on my stone wheel instead of this diamond stone, but stone wheel kind of can be tedious to set up sometimes, so I got my cold steel Viking hand axe head actually pretty decently sharp. I'm gonna see about getting that fine edge on there though with a leather strop. So I got some white compound. I'm gonna just hit it on my leather strop. This is actually just an old belt, but it does the trick. I'm just gonna start stropping this and see what I can get out of it. I'm going to be putting some boiled linseed oil on here though. This will help kind of preserve the handle. This lid's so hard to get on here. I don't do anything real fancy to put this on. I just take me like a paper towel, slather some on here and just wipe it down. My cold steel Viking axe with hair shaving sharp. I got the axe handle done. The only thing left to do is to put these together. Now if you remember, I actually put this in the freezer, and there's a reason for that. This wood will actually tighten up when it's cold, and it will expand when it's hot, so when you actually seat this axe head, the wood will expand around this. So to seat this axe head, all you just simply do is find something hard. I'm just going to use my table here and just Did it on there just like that. Wood should expand around that axe head, and so it'll make it even tighter when it warms up. But as you can tell, this thing is going to look really cool when it's done. Well, it is basically done. I'm going to do a little bit of testing just to see how well it works. But thank you guys for checking this out. Let's take this thing outside tomorrow. My cold steel Viking hand axe for the first time is going to take a few axes at this unwanted little trees. Gets the job done. That's how I modded out this kind of Skyrim inspired Viking hand axe with Viking writing on it. But yeah, overall I like this thing. I'm really eager to really test this thing out. But with all that being said, be prepared both physically and spiritually. God bless. Carry on.